Dylan Sanford was born on the 19th of May 1991 and grew up in California under the care of an aunt, and it's fair to say he had a tough childhood. Both his parents had problems with drugs and alcohol and neglected him at times. When he was 11, his father, Ronald Norman, was found bludgeoned to death in his Allenstown apartment. The 2003 homicide remains unsolved. Then, in September 2017, his mother died with an empty bottle of vodka on the floor beside her. That death hit Sanford hard. Those who knew him would describe him as kind, likeable, funny and hard-working. And that hard-working mentality led him to run his own carpet installation business. He was also a devoted father to his 4-year-old son. But not everything in Dylan's life was working out. Like his parents, Sanford had fallen into addiction, and he cycled between addiction and remaining sober. It was this that led him and the mother of his child to be somewhat distant, but Dylan always kept in contact, especially with his son, and the pair were still on very good terms. Running his own business also allowed him the finances to be able to purchase drugs as and when he required. Despite his addiction, Dylan was a functioning drug user, and in the days before his disappearance he attended a 30-day drug rehabilitation program. On December the 4th, 2018, Dylan Sanford spends the night at a residence on Market Street in Somersworth, New Hampshire. Between 6 and 7 p.m. on December the 5th, he left the Market Street residence to get cigarettes at a local convenience store. He would never return to the residence. Later that evening, he made a phone call to Shayla Perez, who was the mother of his 4-year-old son, and told her he was in Somersworth and accidentally overdosed on drugs, and that he had to be revived with Narcan. This was concerning to her, but there was little she could do. This would be the last time she or anyone else would speak to Dylan. After this, he would disappear. 3 days after anyone had last heard from Dylan, his wallet was found in someone's yard, half a mile away from where he was last seen. It contained only a medical identification card belonging to his son's mother. Few leads were available to follow up on. Police entered Sanford into 2 national missing persons databases, and his family visited Somersworth to comb the banks of the Salmon Falls River, put up posters and knock on doors. Others in the family have posted on social media looking for help in their search, but as the weeks passed, his family knew something serious had happened to Dylan, and it was likely he was no longer alive. Despite his problems with drugs, it wasn't viable that he would not stay connected with his 4-year-old son. Regardless of everything else, he always maintained contact. No further leads, despite the family's best efforts, would come in until almost 1 year later. In September 2019, Graffiti appeared in public parks and bus stops throughout the Tri-Cities area of New Hampshire, claiming Dylan had been murdered by 3 specific men. Police investigated the messages and interviewed those who were named as being responsible, though they say their investigation remains a missing persons case rather than a murder investigation. In that same month, authorities searched a residence in the 100 block of Franklin Street in Somersworth, New Hampshire, after receiving a tip that Dylan was there. However, he wasn't, and their search came up empty. Since then, there has been no further leads. His family acknowledges that Sanford could have overdosed, and his fellow users could have hidden the body, and they are not in doubt that it's highly probable he's gone and will not return home, but they can even bury him or have a gravesite to visit. Dylan has several tattoos: the Serenity Prayer on his ribcage, Roman numerals on the inside of his forearm, a cross on his back, Only the Good Die Young on his chest, and the family is offering a cash reward for information on Dylan's whereabouts. But as of 2024, Dylan remains missing and his case unsolved.